And there we are. Okay, so we're recording now, and you should be able to just hear my voice. Is that still working?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear naught but the beautiful dulcet tones of your voice.
Hey. Okay. so uh, I've got the Silver District map up. You guys all made your way
Uh-huh.
back. Um, the last thing I remember was you were all on the other side of the harbor, and Genevieve's ring went off and created that force bubble, and you dispelled it, and then you turned into a giant owl and flew everybody back
Yeah.
across the harbor, the ones who couldn't like bamf across, and you guys all made your way into the house and went to bed. So at the beginning of our session, I want to. You know what? Let's have you do this. Roll 2 percentile dice for me and tell me the result.
Ah.
Right. So 30.
30 and 63. Ooh, lots of threes.
Okay. That is pretty par for the course, actually. Okay, so your
Good thing, bad thing, good thing.
you retire to your abode, and with your little blue log, your blue spruce log burning, keeping a nice warm temperature in your room, you drift off to sleep with no issue, with the plans of getting up a little bit earlier. Um, Daybreak is barely creeping up over the horizon, uh, and you start to hear the bells of the signaling tower for shift starting. You hear out on the docks there are creaking ships in the harbor. Some are moving past. People are starting to wake up, begin their days. It's very early. Just the bluest hint of light is hitting outside your window as you groggily come to consciousness.
Okay. So I'm gonna wake up. Where did we dock Seb? Does he like dock at night, or does he like clean overnight, or?
Yeah, Seb is kind of like a Roomba. He'll go around, he'll clean, he'll pick up things, and then he'll go and dock himself when he's done. So he's probably upstairs near the charging station.
Okay, so like right outside my room.
Yeah.
Okay,
You want to go
perfect.
back to the
Uh,
mansion real quick?
Pardon?
Do you want to go back to the mansion real quick?
No, no, no. Don't worry about changing the maps or anything like that. No, no, no.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. All
Because
right.
basically all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scrounge for a scrap piece of parchment, write the little note that I sent you, stick it like somehow onto Seb's chest. I don't know if I can have
Okay.
like
Yeah.
glue or tape or anything or.
It's easy enough. He's somewhat magnetic, so you just find a little like a
Oh,
bolt,
like.
a little nut bolt from the laboratory, and you just kind of blink. It just kind of sticks magnetized to the front of him like a little refrigerator magnet. Um, and
Yeah.
yep, Seb's just in his charging station, just waiting for orders or for his sensors to pick up something to clean.
That there's a mess somewhere in the house.
That's right.
Okay. Maybe like Seb, can you make sure to deliver this note and I'll tap his chest um, to to whoever wakes up first of the short expectations. And today, uh, don't do it until everyone is awake. But once everyone's awake, then can you keep drilling into the wall of my room to try to make that like safe room thing that we had talked about?
He nods and says, and then he immediately takes the note off his body and holds it out and hands it to you.
Um, Nope, nope. I'm just gonna take the note. I'm gonna put it back on his chest. Think. Like, no. Let me be clear. The first person other than me that wakes up, give them the note.
He nods his head.
Specifically, people that are like short, like are friends, like Safkin or Xavier or you or Genevieve. Okay. She's gonna look like side eye at him a little bit. Anyways, she's gonna get her backpack on and her cloak, and like make sure that she's got Trevor, but she's gonna make sure like Trevor's like in the backpack.
Okay.
She's gonna get Kumo and like make sure he's like hidden like under her hood, but he's with her just in case. But like yeah, just make sure she's all packed up. But she's gonna
Okay.
try to like make sure that she's not like what's the word? She's gonna make sure she's dressed like an urchin, like
Okay.
dressed like a street urchin with a backpack. So maybe like the only thing at her hip is like a dagger, but it's like tucked behind kind of her hip, and like everything else is just like just clothing, um, and maybe yeah, and her armor, I guess, yeah. Because would urchins be wearing armor?
Maybe like bits and pieces of leather armor that maybe is discarded or worn. And that might not be the best stuff in the world, but yeah, I would say urchins. Some of them might have a few pieces of armor.
Okay, so yeah, so she'll wear her armor, but like her shield and whatnot will all be in her backpack and like that kind of
Okay,
stuff.
sure.
And then so she wants to get to the Pharaohs. Did you give her any directions?
No.
Okay. And she has an idea of where the university is though, right?
Uh, yes. When you were up in the after you left the inquiry and went out into Scale Square, there were several buildings around Scale Square, more prominent places. Uh, one of them was the Royal Palace, one was the Imperial Prison, and one was the Arcane University, which is right next to the prison.
Palace, prison, and university.
And in between
And that
the halls of justice, which were kind of on the corner, spanning between the halls of justice tower and the large kind of medieval castle-looking prison, is the large wooden stage structure where all of the gallows are.
hmm, okay. Well then she'll just what's the fastest way to get there?
Um, hang on just a second. I'm hearing some weird sounds outside.
Mm-hmm.
Give me just a moment. Sounds like somebody's moving a trash can.
Sure, no.
It's weird. One
Oh.
moment.
Yeah, no worries.
Very strange.
What's happening?
I swear, that sounded like somebody was dragging a trash can up the driveway. It's like, what is going on? But the dogs aren't going off. I mean, they're all kind of perked up, but I went and checked, and there's nobody out there. Sound does carry out here, so maybe it's the neighbors. Anyway, sorry, where were we?
How what that's okay. I was just wondering what's the shortest way to get back to Scale Square? Is it because like there's the Tower 8, that's stairwell, right?
Uh-huh.
And then there's the other stairwell over in Gold District. Both of those go up, right?
Right. The only stairwell you've ever been up was the one that is in Gold District. That's the way that you both, well, on the way up, you went kind of the back way through Platinum District and up through the belly of the plateau. But on the way back, you
Mm-hmm.
went down the stairwell through Gold District. So that's the way that you would
Okay.
know to get to the surface.
Okay. Yep. So she'll take that route with her
Okay.
little. What's what's the background feature that she has? Like,
Yeah,
uh,
it's an urchin feature. You can get through dense city
yeah,
quicker than most because you know
you know the city
shortcuts
patterns. Yeah, while you are not in combat, you can travel between two locations in the city as twice as fast as your
twice as
speed would
fast.
normally allow.
Right, and yeah, that would be no problem for you to get up there in a relatively short amount of time. Um,
Uh-huh.
okay, so let's see here. Put you back on Gold District. Did I put the Gold District map in here? Maybe I didn't. I thought we were using the Gold District map. Maybe not. Okay. Well, you head back through Gold District, which is pretty easy to
Mm-hmm.
get to, and you make your way to the north stairwell where you came down. Heading up it,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's only been maybe 5 minutes by the time you're already traveling up into the lower levels of the plateau. You make your way back down through the subterranean markets, which are just now starting to kind of uh, dust off their porches, and you see people dumping out pails of water into the cobbled streets. You see up in the
Water.
windows, there's people, yeah, water, people hanging their laundry on lines, and kind of pulling it on lines out the window. You hear people coughing in little dens as they start to fry up lard for breakfast, and um, there's not a whole lot of people on the street yet, so it's pretty easy to make your way through. In fact, it's a little bit strange to see such a densely populated area so deserted. But early in the morning, not too many people out yet. You make your way up to the next stairwell and head on up, eventually making your way to uh, the central corridor where the spiral staircase leads up to Scales Square. Would you like to head up?
Yep.
All right, you keep going. By the time you pierce the edge of the stairwell, and you can see daylight coming through. The sun has risen up over the edge of the horizon and is casting a nice kind of warm yellowish glow on all of the buildings to the west as you come up out of the spiral um, onto the large kind of disc-shaped courtyard that makes up Scale Square. You can see people moving back and forth in different groups. It's a very large, maybe 500 to 600 foot across disc with all of these buildings, large and small, of different architecture, kind of surrounding it. Um, where would you like to go?
Have I and I know which building is the university, right?
Yeah, as you come up the stairwell, you see across the disc, maybe about 800 feet away, to your left is the Royal Palace, and from the outside, it is very majestic, opulent looking spires and you know crowned cap towers, and it's all kind of white and alabaster, uh, ornately arranged, barrel vaulted and pointed arched windows. You can see the window where you guys were held. You recognize it. You can see the colonnaded platforms that span over in three different levels across to the halls of justice. Another large round tower type building with the behind you, the large stage made out of wood, maybe 30 feet in the air, with all of the gallows lined up, doors leading into the prison through a tower that's connected to the stage, and the large kind of featureless castle structure of the prison. There are bars on the windows, and uh, next to that is a hospital building, some kind of a treatment facility, and on the far side of that is the what looks like a bank, some kind of a banking building, kind of large brass structures. The door is very heavy. Everything is kind of a much more heavy and metallic look to it than the buildings on the other side, closer to the royal palace. And next to that is another spire that leads up, um, with kind of brass adorned windows, that are very narrow, too narrow for somebody to fit through, but you could probably see out of, um, next to the bank, like kind of attached to it. And there are guards surrounding that tower as well. Uh, on the other side, it looks like there are some businesses, streets that kind of branch out in almost like spokes of a wheel type. And where from where you're standing, you can see down maybe 3 or 4 different streets, into the densely populated city that sprawls out from Scale Square.
Cool. So wait a minute. I might have missed it, but can I see the university from here? Or
You know that from your window, kind of behind the gallows, uh, maybe like around the prison behind it somewhere, there were uh, the very tall spires, and castle-like structure of the Arcane University that was beyond that.
so I'll start picking my way towards there. But now, as I'm walking, I'm still like moving quickly because I got to make sure to get back for breakfast for Seth King's breakfast.
Sure.
But I'm also keeping my eyes open for any other sort of like urchin or street folk or anything like that. I know this is like crazy high class area,
Sure.
but if there's anyone around that like might be near my class level that I could like ask for directions just in case. But if
Okay.
not, I'll just pick my way. It's fine.
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Mm-hmm. 15.
15. Okay, as you're kind of scanning through the courtyard looking for anybody that you could easily approach without raising too much attention, you actually lock eyes with a young male that's wearing kind of tattered, but not too bad. Maybe he was a sailor in a previous lifetime. But the sleeves, the big billowing sleeves that he wore, are kind of tanned brown from dirt. There's a couple of tears in his shirt. It's the top button is missing. He's got a little like brown cap on with a small brim on it. Um, he's got those weird arm suspenders that kind of hold his sleeves up. He's got kind of a dirty apron on, and the apron has different colored splotches on it. And you can see he's sitting on the ground on a kind of a burlap kind of blanket, and he's got some stacks of parchment out, and he's got a piece of what looks like coal, and he reaches up and wipes his face, and it leaves a big like mark of coal across his face, and then he goes back and keeps working almost furiously on this piece of parchment that's laid out in front of him. He goes back to his work after locking eyes with you.
Okay. Does he look like he's selling the papers or?
It's hard to tell, but you've seen other like street vendors that just kind of open up a blanket and set out their wares, and anybody that walks by can either donate if it's like a street performance, or they can just stand and watch. Sometimes people do sell things on occasion, but yeah, maybe something like that.
Okay. Yeah, so she'll approach.
You can see him there, just like hunched over, just scrawling on his piece of parchment.
Hello, what are you working on?
Hi. Oh. I'm drawing. Um. You can watch if you want.
Sure. Actually, do you mind? Can I ask you for some help
Help. Maybe
or just directions?
directions. Okay. Yeah. What do you need to know?
I just want to know. Can you give me directions? I'm trying to find two things. I'm trying to find the university, and also I'm trying to find the Pharaoh's Guild Hall. Do you know anything about that?
Um. The university is behind the prison. It's over there, and he points back the way you came. Behind the large, ominous prison structure and the big gallows, kind of just peeking over the top of it, you can see the top of one of the tower spires. It has kind of like a blue cobbled roof on it. Um, that's the university back there. Um, Pharaoh's. Well, that's that creepy building outside of town. I don't know. I've never been there.
Do you know what direction outside of town it is?
Yeah, it's to the north. And he points. You can see the sun is getting high enough now that it's casting a little bit of light into the buildings in the western end of the square, almost touching the ground. Um, so you can tell which way is north.
Cool. That's thoughtful. Are you making drawings? Are you writing poetry? What are you?
I draw buildings mostly, and he spreads out a few of them, and you can see there's some of the palace, there's some of the gallows itself, some of the underground tunnels that he's sketched. He's actually pretty talented. You can tell that he's spent a lot of time doing it. He's got a little bitty cup too, that's kind of in the middle of all this mess of parchment drawings, and in the little cup are three copper pieces. Do
Oh,
you want one?
yeah. How much are you selling them for?
Well, hang on. Um, I could do something special for you. Um, I'll tell you what. I'll make you a map. I'll make you a map of the surface of Liberty for 1 silver.
1 silver. That's a lot of money. Well, tell you what.
I
Why
can
don't I
make a really
watch?
good one though. And he pulls out a fresh piece of parchment, and he starts sketching immediately, before you can turn him down. And you can see he's already sketched out the plateau. Uh, some of the buildings on the surface are already starting to be fleshed out. You can see the streams. It's actually pretty cool. Do you want to keep watching him, or?
Yeah, I'll just watch him for a minute. A map was super useful, so yeah, like
Yeah.
if he's going
Okay.
to draw me one, like I'll just wait a little bit.
He puts the cardinal directions on there, and he starts sketching out. You can see the two tunnels. It's actually it's really cool because unlike most maps, he's drawn it like he's a bird, like he can see through the eyes of a bird,
Oh,
and he's drawn it from above, kind of at an angle, so you can make out a lot of the features on the surface. It's not maybe to scale, but it shows you where everything is. So here's where the tunnel from the inner islands goes in, and
uh
here's
huh,
where you leave through the other tunnel to go to the outer islands, and
uh
here's
huh,
where there's all the ghost town that sprawls on the western end, where the first settlers made their settlement, and there's
oh,
fields and pastures, and here's Spiralia City and the lighthouses, and I think this is where the Pharos is. I mean, I've only seen it a few times from the walls, and then there's the forests, and he starts just sketching it all out, and it starts to take form, and eventually, this is what you see.
Wow.
All right. Well, one silver piece.
Hmm. Hey, have you eaten today yet?
Um, his tummy growls.
Oh.
No.
Okay. She's gonna dig into her bag, and first thing first, she's gonna pull out an extra cake pop.
Ooh. Okay. Pumpkin pop.
Yeah.
All right. Pumpkin pop. His eyes get really wide.
And she's gonna give him the pumpkin pop. Be like, here, can you eat this? It just takes me a minute. Just gotta find my coin right at the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. Pops it in his mouth, just hungrily, just like ravenously chomps on it and eats it down. Oh, that's so good.
And so I'm gonna give him 3 silver pieces and 3 copper pieces. And I'm gonna put it in a I'm gonna just put it I'm gonna put them like in a stack, like in the bag, so that he doesn't see what I'm doing. And I'm gonna get him to hold his hand out. Be like, look, I've been in the same kind of place you've been, so I'm gonna put some money in your hand, and you're gonna take it, and you're not gonna complain, okay?
Uh, oh, okay.
And I'm gonna put it in his hand.
Um, thank you. Here's your drawing.
Hmm. And you know what? give, make you a deal. If you tell anyone that's looking for help with ghosts or solving problems, or if they just need some help, you tell them to come and find the short expectation at the old um whatchamacallit? What's our manor called again?
The
Uh,
Colchester.
yeah, at the old Colchester estate. And if you bring us
Uh,
anyone that is willing to pay for quests or anything like that, and she pulls out a gold piece, you'll get another one of these. And she puts a gold piece in his hand as well.
I can't accept this.
Nope, that
I'll
was the
tell.
deal. I said no complaining.
That's wow. Thank thank you, thank you. If you want any more drawings, please come back and see me and bring your friends. The short people,
Short, short expectations. That's what they're called.
short expirations. Got it.
No, 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 no.
Okay,
Try it again. Expectations. Expectations.
expectations. I'm not sure
Yeah,
what that means, but okay.
that's okay. What was your name?
Um, my name is Doffrey.
Jeffrey?
Doffrey.
Yeah. Well, Joffrey, my name is Lindel. It's very nice to meet you, and you make
Hi,
lovely
Lindel.
drawings. Hi. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And she's just gonna like scamper off.
Thank you. And he takes the coins and like tries to hide them really quick and starts taking all of his parchments and stacking them up and rolls up his blanket and he looks around like completely excited, unsure what to
Mhm.
do, but happy. And you run off with your map for one
Yay!
gold, 3 silver, and 3 copper.
Yeah.
All right. So that map, I'll go ahead and send it to you in Messenger so that you have access to it. Let's see here. It's not quite the same map, but it's it's upside down. Well, I'll get you a better version in later. But anyway, uh,
That's okay. I can turn it right side up when I download it. That's totally fine.
okay. So there's the map. So you can see the areas that he
Woo!
described on the map. The tunnels where they go in and out. The kind of ghost town that's over in the west end. You can see Spiralia City, surrounded by forest on most sides. Looks like
Mm-hmm.
there's a small village on the road outside of town to the west,
Mm-hmm.
lighthouses in the north and south, and you can see the Pharos building, the creepy kind of tree-looking building growing on the north end through the pastures past the lake.
Yeah, that is creepy. Okay, alrighty.
Okay.
I guess on to the university.
All right. So in his map, you can kind of see where the prison and the towers are. Pretend it's a little bit easier to see over the top of that. So, not too bad. You make your way down the streets. You find a side street and duck down it. Um, would you like to? Are you trying to like stay out of view? Or are you trying to avoid people? Are you,
Is
just
there like
trying
a
to make your
front?
way there as quickly as possible?
Yeah, is there a front entrance to the university?
When you get down that side street, you notice it opens up into kind of a courtyard with tall buildings on all sides of it. There are very large walled structures all around, and you can see there is a kind of a main entry portal into the university, and there's actually some young people with robes that are entering through it, just talking, carrying their books, um, and there's a portcullis gate that's currently up. It looks like there is one older uh, person that is on the side of the gate, not really standing guard, but more greeting students as they enter.
Okay, before I go any further, I remember that I'm an urchin, and I'm gonna backtrack sneakily down the path that
Mhm.
I took to where Doffrey is, and I just want to like peek out of the alley, and I just want to make sure that no one is like harassing him or following him or anything like that.
Roll a perception check for me.
That should happen. 13.
You don't actually see him. He's packed up
Oh,
and
okay.
left.
Okay, so he at least he's gone, so that's
Yep.
good. Back to the gate, and there's an old person at the gate greeting students.
Older. It's kind of hard to tell. You're pretty far away, but you can see figures, younger figures, and one older figure that's greeting people as they walk in. Is there's only a handful of students making their way inside, maybe three or four, and
Okay.
this one
So
figure at the gate.
she's not gonna like try to. She doesn't have anything to hide at the moment, which is feeling really weird for her. So she's gonna just like hide just for like a few minutes and just watch the people going in, and like if they like signal him, or if they like show a badge, or if he just like calls them by name, or like what happens as people come up to the gate.
Okay. Um, we'll have you roll one more perception check just to see if you can overhear anything
Mm-hmm.
and what kind of details you notice.
20, 30.
All right. Yeah, you can see they all have special robes on that are clasped with a small metal piece that is shaped like a scales, symbol of liberty, and it's also got kind of what do I say, like a coiled design down the middle. That well, roll a history check for me.
Uh-huh. I'll, I'll try. It's a good example. 2.
You're not sure what that is, but there's a very special brooch that's holding together their cloaks as they all walk in, and they all have matching kind of uniforms. Um, you see maybe half a dozen go in, usually in pairs. Some are kind of rushing in by themselves, and as they walk past the older person, you can't really tell gender from this distance either. They just kind of nod, maybe say a few words. Um, you hear one person just repeat the Liberty motto, balance over order, and he nods and greets them. But not really any conversation. nothing interesting that you can make out anyway.
If there's not like a password or anything like that.
No.
So yeah, so she'll just she'll get out a piece of paper,
Hmm.
parchment, and she'll fold it up, and she'll just write Lafayette, L-A-Y, like as best she can remember how it's spelled,
Hmm.
on the front of the piece of paper, and she'll hold it in her hand. And she'll just approach the man, just walking up front, like little beads of sweat trickling down her forehead. Oh no, wait, back up.
Yeah.
Sorry, before she does that, um, I was thinking about this. Yeah. So before she approaches him, she's gonna cast what's it called?
I want to give you
Uh,
an example of how marketing and
Oh no, there's a
so I switched up my
Squarespace ad playing. Okay, there we go.
pardon.
I was changing the music and it played an ad. Okay, there we go.
Oh,
So
nice.
now I wanted to change it to Medieval City, so I might need to turn the volume down. There we go. Okay, sorry.
Oh yeah, she has it prepared. Oh, that's why I'm looking at third level one. Stop. She wants to cast Enhanced Ability on herself and give herself Eagle's Splendor, so she has advantage on Charisma check she needs.
Okay, very good. So yeah, you cast it on
And just
yourself. Give yourself a little bit of courage, and you start to move toward the that portcullis gate, where the as you get closer, you can see a little hint of a beard poking out of the hood of the person's cloak. It looks like they just have their arms folded. As they breathe out, you can see a little bit of their breath in the cold morning air.
mhm. uh, um, excuse me, sir. I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm looking for a Professor Lafayette. Um, um,
Yes, Lafayette. Lafayette is probably up in the study currently. Why do you want to see Lafayette?
yes, I have a personal letter here for him that I was told to deliver in person. Am I allowed to go in?
Let me see this letter. He holds out
I'm
his hand.
sorry, it's for his eyes only.
His eyes only. Who sent you?
Um, she didn't want me to say. It's supposed to be confidential.
Hmm. Interesting. Roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion or deception?
Well,
It's
see,
kind of
that's
true,
tricky.
kind of not.
It depends. Are you trying to be deceptive, or are you trying to tell as much truth as you can?
I'm trying to tell as much truth as I can.
Then it'd be persuasion.
Okay, yeah, there. Okay, so with my Eagle Splendor, the total is 13. Oh, wait, I reroll natural 1. Uh, the
Oh,
total is 26 with a natural 20.
that die is cocked on my screen.
Does it work like that?
Yeah, it did report a 20, so it's a 220. So split
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
difference. It's
Yay!
a no. Split the difference. It's an 11. So 26.
That's still 17. Yeah.
Well, little one, I'll tell you what. Make it quick, and please do not disturb Lafayette from his teaching regiment today. Deal?
Yeah, I'll be quick in and out. I promise I won't cause any trouble.
All right, little one. Off you go.
Oh, wait, but how do I get there?
Head through the main corridor, and just head up. Keep going up. If you
Okay.
get lost, just ask someone. You'll be all right.
Thank you. You're very nice. Have a great day. And she'll just like
Okay.
duck off.
All right, you scamper off. So yeah, you made your way through the portcullis door, and as you as you do, you can see there's kind of a courtyard that surrounds the main tower structure that kind of goes up and then connects again to another spire that connects over here to another spire. And there's looking up, you can just see pathways and spires leading up and up and up and up. Um, it's kind of a cool structure and seems like it'll be really fun to go inside. There's a main entrance
Ooh.
with a stairwell that goes up into the main tower, and there's a nice open doorway. There's no door. It just leads inside.
In we go.
All right. You can see there's some people tending grounds. There's a few students walking back and forth. None of them really pay you much attention. It seems like this is maybe not a public space, but a little bit more open than some other places. Not as restricted as, say, like the Royal Palace would be.
Hmm.
All right. So let me see. I'm going to be looking on my screen at some things, and I'll just describe them as they happen. So you
Okay.
walk through the main opening, and it's just kind of a square room. Uh, it's all like heavy stone tiled structure, and you can see there's like a railing or banister that goes around the room. In front of you to the left, there is a stairwell that leads up a few stairs to a landing, and then turns the corner and leads up again to an upper level. Across from you, there is like an ornate golden door with like these wing patterns on it, and the door is shut. You can see there's a red rug that kind of leads underneath the doorway and disappears on the other side. To the right, there's just kind of a not crumbled, but looks a little bit in disrepair, just a little opening alcove. And yeah, where would you like to go?
Up the stairs.
All right, so you head up the stairs and turn the corner at the landing, heading further up. Um, and when you get to the top, it ends in kind of a railed balcony, and the balcony leads in. And
Mm-hmm.
inside, you can see there's a kind of a faint blue light, and four arched, uh, like doorways with columns in between that leads into another tower structure. You want to keep going?
Uh-huh. Do I see? Do any of the doorways expressly have like stairs that lead upward?
You don't see anywhere leading upward from here, but pretty much the only place to go from here is through the four arched colonnade doors that are connected like a wall almost. And beyond there, you can see some blue or some yellow light faintly through it.
Okay. Yep. Keep going.
All right, you head through uh, those arched columns, and it looks like there is a wide stairwell that leads down into a very massive room, large, rectangular, maybe 3 stories tall. And it's got statues and books and crystals and things on the walls, and it's very highly decorated. In the center of the room, there's a little, almost like a an orator's circle, where there's stairs that lead down, and the stairs are like bleachers, and in the center there's a little like a podium for maybe a teacher to sit at and address students in the round. And on either side, there are these big braziers that are, burning right now with a yellowish light that illuminates the grand hall. On the opposite side, if you walk all the way through, there is 2 more openings that also have a bluish light coming from.
Hmm. Well, I guess I'm gonna go through the openings.
Okay, you keep heading through this corridor. This one leads to, it looks like outside. Uh, my thing real quick. Give me just a second. This is interesting. I've never done this before. I'm kind of building a modular space as we play through it, um,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of a new concept for me. So give me just a second. Okay.
That's okay.
You lead through the double doors, and there's a narrow hall that leads to a single doorway, but it looks like there's a gate across this doorway, and it leads out to the outside. Um, there's a somewhat of a uh, like a U-shaped balcony that hugs to the side of the tower, and out from there you can see now you're a couple stories up, um, and it looks out onto the city. You can see some rooftops and streets kind of sprawling out in different directions. Um, but yeah, there's like a barred gate. This door.
Mm-hmm. Is there and there's no just regular old doorway or stairs that go up?
Not through this hallway. Well, from what you can see, when you get up to the bars on this gate, it goes to the left and to the right. Um, you can see just around the corner, it looks like there are two more doors to the right. And to the left, there's these weird kind of more alcoves, little nooks with shelves. You're not really sure what's on them.
Mm. Hmm. Is the gated door locked?
You try the gate, and yes, it seems to be locked.
Well, if you wouldn't have sent me to try to get through a locked door, it doesn't make sense. And if I try to unlock it, then I might get into trouble because I'm picking locks in university. If someone catches me, then I get in trouble, and then Professor Lafayette will not like me. Even though I could pick the lock, I'm sure I could pick it lock, no problem. It's not even that big of a lock. No problem. Uh, well, I guess I'll head back to, and she'll just kind of like do a spin around,
Mhm.
like in place. Uh, hmm. And she like briefly considers like I could just walk up the tower on the outside. Um, and then she's like, nope, there's got to be a way for normal people to get up to the study. Otherwise, he wouldn't have told me just to keep going up. So she'll head back to the grand hall, I guess, and ask for help.
Okay. You head back to the grand hall. You don't see anybody in this hall right now, um, but you do
Mm.
hear some voices from the other side where that balcony is with the stairs.
Okay, she'll head that direction.
Okay. Yeah, you head back through the grand hall and up the stairs and through that little blue corridor with the four arched doorways onto the balcony. And looking down in the balcony now, you can see in the courtyard are a couple of students that are chattering away. They just make their way straight across and through the gold door with the two wings.
Oh. Hmm. So I'm still trying to like just visualize everything, but as best I can tell, the route that I've taken since the main floor,
Mhm.
there isn't any other way that I could go without picking lock to go upstairs.
That you can tell, yeah.
Okay, well I'll go down and try the door with the gold thingy.
All right. Yeah, you head back down, following the path the students took, and go over to the golden doorway. Um, you go up to it, and it's a very heavy uh, gold, ornately carved doorway that just exudes kind of a sense of magic and wonder. And as you go up to touch it, you're a little hesitant at first, but you reach a hand up. Hmm. You look inside, and inside you see there is a narrow walkway that leads straight across. Uh, the red rug continues down the this walkway, and on either side you can see it looks down into the lower floor. It looks like there's another kind of rectangular hall beneath it on either side, with these buttresses that are kind of at an angle holding up this walkway as it goes across. It tees at the other end with another balcony that has two doorways, one to the left and one to the right.
No alarms going off. No like she's not supposed to be here or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay. Scamper down the rug towards the T intersection doors.
Okay. Yeah, you head in, and as you head inside, you can hear the door that was straight across to the left. Um, you hear it latch as if somebody had just entered that door.
Okay.
So you make your way to the T intersection. Would you like to go left or right?
I'll open the left door.
Okay. You go to the left door, the one that somebody just went inside and open it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it opens up. Let's see. Right. It opens up into another kind of multi-leveled room. It looks like maybe this room is about 3 stories tall, also, and you're on the bottom level. Um, Looking straight across through the doorway, um, there is a balcony above you, and there's a corridor that leads through the balcony. And there's kind of a roughly hewn door on the right side. It looks like the wall across on the other side is kind of in disrepair. Also, there's some, uh, you know, large stones that have come dislodged from the wall. And, there's some rubble on the ground. To the left is a very narrow walkway that leads to some stairs that go up and then around the corner to the kind of walkway above where you are currently.
Okay.
So would you
Good.
like to go straight or to the left?
She's gonna just be like, this is good, but it's not as good as like a main stairwell up. So she's just gonna take a quick peek through the right door at the T intersection, just to see
Okay.
if like this is the stairwell kind of thing.
So you're going to go back to the...
Yeah.
Okay, so you backtrack a little bit and go to the other side of that T intersection. And you go up to that door and try it, and it's locked.
Oh, okay. Well, that solves the problem. So she'll go back to this multi-level room,
Okay.
and take, I believe the stairs were to the left, if that's.
Yeah. So you go up the stairs and around the corner. There's 3 little alcoves and a bunch of like clay jars that are stacked up in front of the alcoves. There's another stack of jars against the railing of the balcony. There's a little bench there. You can see across from you, there's stairs that lead down to the opposite side uh, where you were looking at before. Otherwise, this platform has a balcony with more stairs that lead up if you just keep heading that direction.
Yep, up we go.
Okay, all right. So you head across the balcony, up the stairs into a smaller kind of alcove with railing, and it looks like there is another set of 3 doorways, each of them with bars over the doors.
Are they locked?
Which one do you want to try?
Mm,
Left, right, or middle?
let's try. Left seems to be working so far, so let's try the left door.
Okay, you go over to the left door, and looking at the bars on this door, it doesn't look like it opens. It looks like it's a feature, almost like this is not a door but a window. And looking through the bars, you can see into another one of those kind of 3-story tall, large halls with a little orator's center in it. But this one has bookshelves, lots and lots of bookshelves.
Okay. More sounds like a study. Yes, we're on the right track. I'll try the middle one.
Okay, so you go to the middle one, and it looks like there's some kind of a latch on it. You reach up to grab the part that looks like it swings open, You grab two of the bars and try to swing it, but it looks like the latch is just over. It is locked, but it doesn't look like a lock you have to pick or a lock that requires a key. It's just like a
Like a
a
flip
slide
latch
lock.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. And the right door?
yeah. You go over to the right door. It also looks like the bars are just a feature.
Okay. Um, uh, do I have to roll something? Can I figure out how to open the doors?
Roll an intelligence check for me.
Oh my god. Intelligence, not my strong suit.
Sorry, what did you
Natural
get?
20. Natural
Natural
20 for a
20.
total of 20.
Very easy enough. You reach up. It's a little high, so you have to get on your tiptoes to reach the latch, but you crank it down and slide it through the hole, and you open up the iron gate into the study. And it looks like the study has two arched doorways that lead inside, with two stairwells, one on either side of kind of a little platform. The stairs lead up to the chamber with the little orator circle in the center, and two stories of bookshelves just lining the walls in these beautiful stone carved arched bookshelves that are just packed full.
Hmm.
On
Okay,
the other
well,
side of the room, there's another stairwell that leads up to two arched doorways that are connected to a hall.
and I don't see any people.
Nope, no people.
Okay, left is up to. Left is more stairs. Right is
No, just straight
books.
across. There's only
Oh, straight
back
across.
or forward.
Okay, forward. Yep. So
All
keep
right.
moving.
Yep, you move through the corridor to the larger stairwell that leads up further. You feel like you must be 5, 6 stories up now, definitely above
Mm.
the prison. Um, as you walk through this corridor, and you can feel a little bit of a cold breeze now as you move through. Uh, uh, Here we go. As you move through the doorway, you are now out in the open. It looks like you are on the top of one of the large spires. It has like a crenellated crown of like a short wall that goes around the entire structure. It looks like there might have been an older structure that was here at some time ago that was destroyed or fell down. Looks like there's some repair underway. Uh, there's just some stone walls left of whatever structure was up here before. And there's a large wooden crane with some heavy stone blocks on it that are tied with ropes, heavy ropes. It looks like there's a construction underway. Um, to the left,
Hmm.
leading around the spire that you're on, there is a walkway that leads to another spire. It's very narrow, and the spire that's on the other side of this walkway, uh, there is a doorway leading into it.
Mm. Did the old man say just keep going up? And he said Professor Lafayette is in the study. That's what he said.
Hmm.
So I was in the study and I'm leaving the study. In the study, were there any like offices or other doors or side rooms or anything like that?
In that large hall with all the books?
Yeah.
No,
Okay. So since I didn't see him, he must still be up more.
you don't know.
Okay, I'll keep going up.
Okay. You go across the narrow walkway to this other spire, and when you do, the wind just whips you as soon as you get out of the blockage of the tower that you were currently in, and you kind of have to hug the railing a little bit as the wind is really strong from up here. Looking down, you're probably about 8 stories up. Looking down on the city, it's probably the highest up you've ever been, and you get a little bit of woozy as you kind of go away from the edge,
Oh,
making your way over to the smaller spire and into the doorway. You open the door, and inside, you're met with a very nice, warm, kind of cozy interior made of wood instead of stone. There are nice tables set out. There is a small bookshelf. There's a globe. There's a large brass astrolabe in the center that looks like there's these heavenly bodies and planetoids that are all kind of hung from the ceiling and on this giant gear in the center. It looks like maybe they move somehow. It's gorgeous. You've never seen anything quite like it. There's a little bit of a cobblestone ring around the outside and a railing. And there is a spiraled staircase made of wood also, with railings that leads up around the outside of this circular interior. And the stairs are carpeted in a velvety red fabric. There's more bookshelves that lead up around the corner. There's orangey light and colored light being reflected off of the stained glass windows that are on the perimeter of this tower. Um, Not in disrepair at all, very ornately, lavishly decorated. You can see some books are out with the pages open. And more interestingly, cats everywhere. There are, at first glance, maybe 10 cats in here, all different colors and patterns. Some are lazily sleeping on top of bookshelves. Some are pawing at the books. And you see there is a woman that is wearing like lightish blue robes with white sleeves and has dark skin, and she's sorting the books, and she tries to lift a book from underneath a cat, and she's like, "Oh, just get off of it!" And she closes it and sweeps off the cat hair, and she's like, "Oh, if he didn't love cats so much, I swear." And she goes back up the spiral staircase and looks for the place where the book belongs.
Um, excuse me, miss, excuse me.
Oh,
So like,
goodness! Oh, oh, you scared the living daylights out of me. Ah, oh, you shouldn't sneak up on someone like that. Hello,
oh,
can I
hello.
help you?
Um, yes, please. Um, I'm looking for Professor Lafayette. Are you? Are you Professor?
Oh, no, dear, I'm not Professor Lafayette. No. Um, oh, goodness. Well, are you a student? Are you looking for him? Is he one of your teachers?
No, 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 no. I have a message for him. She'll hold up a piece of paper with his name written on it. Be like, I have a private letter for him that I was told to deliver in person.
Ah, I see. Did Professor Lampweather let you in?
Is overseas the nice man with the beard at the gate?
Ah, yeah, the big beard. Yes, that's him.
Yeah,
Ah,
he let me in.
I see. Well, yes, Professor Lafayette has not been out of his study in. Well, I don't know when the last time was. He makes his study on the top of this tower. If you just keep heading up.
Ooh.
When she says that, one of the cats meow, starts to rub its body against your lower half, wrapping its tail
Oh,
around you.
oh, those scritches. Oh, those
Oh,
scritches.
those damned cats. It's one of
Just
Lafayette's cats. Just
hi.
yeah, you don't have to pet it if you don't want to.
Um,
These cats kind of run the place if you haven't noticed.
that's right. They're so cute though. And all of these are his.
Uh, yes, he feeds strays. And they don't go away. As you can see, they just stay here in the library and make it a living hell for me to put these books away and clean it and keep the cat hair out of the astrolabe.
That's okay. Um, 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 is it okay if I go to study?
Yes, of course. Just be quick. Professor
Yes, of course.
Lafayette has class in about an hour.
Yeah, of course. I'll go quickly.
I tell
I'm
you what,
thinking
if you can manage to get him out of his hole and off to class to teach his students, that would be much appreciated.
oh, I'm, I'm just a messenger, Mister. I'll ask. Um,
Well, good luck.
I'll give the cat like another little like scratches and
It
then off.
rubs its hand or head against your hand, and its claws kind of go out onto the carpet a little bit. So you head on up the spiral stairs.
Yes.
All right. It's a little bit narrow, and you kind of push past her a little bit and um, up the very soft carpeted steps up to the upper landing, and there's a wooden corridor there that leads uh, in and up and around to a spiral staircase that's very narrow, that kind of twists around and goes pretty much straight up. You head on up that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Eventually, the stone stairs on the outer portion of this tower end at another kind of wooden door. Uh, it's got like three heavy bars that go across it, like big hinges, and it's got like a little peephole in it and a large ring on the right side.
Well, I guess I'll knock.
Okay, you
Just
grab
push
the
the
ring
ring.
and you knock the ring against the door. It kind of echoes on the inside of what sounds like a large or maybe cavernous space on the other side. You don't hear anything right away, um, but eventually you hear what sounds like a dozen objects that just like kind of hit the floor. You're not sure what it is. You hear some ruffling around, and then you hear a of a chair leg screeching against a wooden floor. Yeah, who is it?
Professor Lafayette, I have a letter for you.
A what?
A letter, a message, a written note, a missive, a piece of
Um.
documentation which requires your immediate attention.
All right. Yeah, sure. Just slip it under the door.
I'm supposed to get a signature.
What kind of a letter requires a signature? You
I
hear
can't ask.
the chair move further away from the desk, and a couple of footfalls across like a hollow wooden floor over to the doorway. Um, the light that's coming through the peephole suddenly goes dark, and you hear the voice a little bit closer. What letter do I need to sign? Can you
Sorry, say it
show it
again.
to me?
Once more.
Hmm?
Once more.
Oh, yeah. What do you want me to sign? Just show it to me.
She'll just hold up the piece of paper.
You hold up the piece of paper. Is it rolled up or?
It's like folded, and then with his name like on the front of it.
Okay. Who's it from?
I don't ask questions. She just said to deliver it to you. She said something about. Well, she made me meet her at the Colchester estate. She said it was rather important.
Immediately, the door opens up, and a hand reaches out and grabs you and pulls you inside. The door shuts. He holds you up against the wall. So The hands gripping you are of a human male. They grip you tightly around the upper arms as he pushes you against the wall, not violently, but just kind of with an intensity. Um, the man that stands before you, he is maybe like middle 30s. He's got kind of graying short hair. He's got a little bit of a beard goatee going on. Um, he's got heavy, distinguished robes that are sullied and smeared and a little bit disheveled, like he hasn't washed his robes or gotten new ones in a very long time. Um, Past him in the room, you can see it's just a mess. Stacks of books, parchment, scrawlings, boards that are put up with notes everywhere. You can see he's very much a homebody that stays in and studies a lot. Um, as he grabs you and throws you against the wall, he says, "You should not be in the Colchester estate. Who sent you?" And he's like kind of shaking you as he talks.
Do they have that like intense, like I haven't slept in 3 days kind of look to them?
Yeah, you can tell he was sleeping when you came up, but yeah, he probably didn't fall asleep too long before you entered.
Hmm. Okay. You're like, hello. My name is Lindel Keeley. I am a member of Short Expectations and the recent owner of the Colchester estate. Do you have a
Owner?
minute to talk of?
What are you talking about? No
Well,
one
I mean,
owns
I
that
have.
house.
We were gifted it um by the city. We did some good stuff, and they're like, yeah, have a house, it's free. Um,
No, 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 no. People cannot be in there. What are you doing in there? You need to move out immediately. Is it just you?
no, there's lots of us. Can
Lots
you
of
let
you?
go of
How
me? Can we
many?
talk?
Um, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Sata's calling. Give me just a second.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we have more time. Okay, so he starts
Can,
just putting a hand in his face. He's just like, no, 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 no. You can't be in there. How many people? You said there's more?
uh-huh.
You have no idea what you've gotten yourselves into. The city never should have given you that house.
Nope, that's
You all need to get out now. He rushes back over to his
uh,
desk and like pushes some books away, ruffles through some parchment. He grabs one of the pieces of parchment and he looks it over. He flips it to the back and looks at the front again. He scratches his beard and he says, "You get over here. Come here. Come here."
yes.
He smears the not smears, but like flattens the piece of parchment over the table and puts his arms on either side, kind of leaning forward over the desk at you. He says, "What do you know about the Feywild and the Abyss?" Nothing, right?
Mhm.
Then you don't know anything about this house. You need to get out of it now. I
Well,
know
I'm not.
about these places. I am the professor of Fey and Abyssal Studies. I know what is in that house. You should not be exposed to it. It has been quarantined, and the city should never have given it away.
Um. Uh. Well, I'm not in the house right now. Is that okay?
Tell me, how many days, nights? How long have you been in the house?
2 nights?
2 nights.
Yeah. We looked
What have you
around and we found
experienced? Have you experienced anything strange?
I have all sorts of strange things. Okay, so first we did like a scavenger hunt, and we went all around and we found all sorts of cool things. We found a bunch of these robot pops and reassembled the robot, and we charged him and we named him Seb, the short
Seb.
expectations robot.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
great
No,
name.
the
I came up with it
automaton.
myself. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, the
he's lovely.
automaton. That's yeah. What else?
And we found some wires and we fixed the electric light. So those are all working now.
Oh, you fixed the
Um,
electricity. Great. Okay. What else?
mhm, mhm. Let's see. Oh yeah, we found a card with your name on it.
Card with my name on it.
Yeah. It's this like black card. It's about this big. It says like the guild member on one side, and then underneath it says Professor Lafayette on it, which is really weird. Let's see
From the
what else did we
witch.
find.
Okay. Yeah. I know what that is. All right. What
From the
else?
let me see. Oh yeah, and there's like a ghost or something that like throws invisible
Wait.
rocks and like
A
spits
ghost or something.
paintings.
Okay. Okay. Stop. Stop. A ghost. What does the ghost look like?
Uh,
Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's like invisible and it's totally harmless and like it like shakes the paintings every once in a while and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like our best friend. But like it's no big deal, it's fine.
So how do you know there's a ghost? It just shakes the paintings?
Um and we've heard footsteps and like rocks being thrown.
Rocks.
Like
Okay, rocks. So do you see the
um
rocks?
so like Thomas can't remember. Um have we been experiencing anything else? Like
Yeah, you've experienced quite a few different things in the house, but I think you're hitting all the big ones.
yeah.
But you
I
do
don't know
notice
we
that he
there's
is
no
really
physical
interested.
rocks though, right?
No, not that you've seen.
Yeah.
You've felt them, almost
Yeah.
like somebody's throwing little pebbles at you.
Right.
And you hear knocking on the walls, and you hear things like
Right.
that sound like people are throwing things around, but there's never any evidence of it. Just the noise
Right. Right.
or the feeling.
Right.
All
Um,
right, so these
yeah.
rocks. Tell me more about it.
Well, I don't know. Just every once in a while, you're walking down the hall, and then you hear a like a whoosh, and then if you're fast enough, it doesn't hurt. But if you're not fast enough, then you get like a feeling of like a pebble hitting you in the back of the head, and it's really probably just all in fun. But there's no
A pebble.
actual
Okay,
rock. Like it
is
doesn't
it a
hurt.
real pebble?
Uh, I've never found one.
So you just feel it.
Yeah.
Does it happen all the time? Like how many times does it
Well,
happen?
I don't know. Lots.
Like more than 10?
Um. mm, mm, I don't know. Like it happens all the time since we moved in.
This is
Like,
important. More than 10 or less than 10 in the 2 days you've been there.
uh, can Lindel remember? I don't remember.
From I would say the best you recall, it hasn't been nearly that many. Maybe like half a dozen at the most.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just like 5 or 6 times that we found. And
All right. So, and he takes out another piece of parchment and he starts scrawling on it. So we have this it's about 6 times. You said
mhm,
6 times. How many nights have you spent? Two. 2 nights.
two.
2 nights. Okay. And how many of you are there?
Do automatons count?
No.
Do pets count?
Maybe. What kind of pet?
Bring out Kuma like a spider,
Okay.
or like a little fire snake,
No, those don't
or
count.
okay, um, or a familiar.
No, it doesn't count.
Okay.
Wait, is it a
Uh,
fey familiar? What kind of familiar?
well, I mean, okay, you tried to explain it to me one time, and I got super confused. It's like it's an eagle, but it's also like a fae, but it's an eagle, but it's a fae. But
So you
it's
have a
like,
wizard in your group?
yes,
Okay, somebody that's
she's an
proficient in the
exorcist.
arcane arts. An
Mm-hmm,
exorcist. One of those pharaohs
mm-hmm.
people?
Yeah, how did you know?
She's one of those pharaohs guys. Oh. Oh. No, that's good. That's good. That might help us. Okay, but it hasn't escalated yet. Um, so other than you and the pharaohs person, who else is in there? Who else you
There's
got?
us. There's our friend. So first off, the wizard who's the exorcist. Her name is Yu. I don't know how to spell it. Don't ask me. But her name
Okay.
is Yu.
All right. What
Um,
else? Going.
there's a tree person. Well, he's got a sword and magic. I'm not sure what he does, but his name is Xavier.
Tree person.
Um,
Interesting.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm. He said something about like, "Hey, my mother's in sub too," and like, "Oh, she's a witch" or something. I don't know. We're gonna go see her tomorrow.
Wait, his
Um,
mother is the witch? Okay,
well, his
keep
dad.
going.
I
Keep
think his
going.
okay. And then there's South Keen, who is
Uh-huh.
absolutely lovely. And she's a tri
It's all right. You don't have
tri
to tell me
fish.
all their names. I just need to know how many people. So we've got the
Oh, I'm
wizard, we've
sorry.
got the tree person, we've got you, we've got
Yeah.
uh
Um.
the
Wait.
Triton
Okay. So
girl.
there's
Is that what you
me.
called her?
There's South Keen. There's
South Keen.
Xavier.
Okay.
There's
Uh
you.
huh.
And there's Genevieve. And like sometimes we have some other friends stay with us, but those are the main people that are there right now.
Okay, so five of you.
Hmm.
Okay, so he starts to do some like rough calculations. You see like these arcane symbols that he's drawing. It's kind of elaborate and it's scrawly, almost like he's madly doing some kind of equation or something. Um, and he kind of stops his chalk for a moment and looks up and he says, "Have you had any dreams?"
Well, I mean, this one time I dreamed of a panda, and like last week I ate some really bad street food, and I
Okay,
had a
no,
dream.
not like that, not like that. Okay, um, no dreams, no dreams. Have you seen any? Have you seen any figures? Have you seen something you couldn't explain moving?
There was kind of this like shadow thing. That's how we thought it was the ghost because it kind of
Okay,
like was
okay.
like looked like a ghost.
Shadow thing. All right. How many?
Mm-hmm.
Just one?
Just one,
Just one.
and we
Okay.
chased it, and then it disappeared into a wall.
Okay. Okay. Uh, the stairs down. The stairs down. Uh,
Oh, yeah, we've hired a bunch of dwarves to help us clear out the stone.
no, no, you cannot clear out that stone. It was there on purpose. Shit. Uh, he looks over at a small like time uh piece. What do you call those? Not a compass.
or or like a stopwatch, or like an orlog, or like a pocket watch,
Uh,
or
old ancient version of that sundial.
oh, a sundial.
Yeah, he has a sundial and he goes and he throws open a small window and places it outside the window on a little like pedestal. He's like, shit, I've got class. Listen, I got class. I got to teach my students, but then I need to get you all out of that house. Can you promise me? Wait, what's this letter that you had? Let me see that.
That was just a lie. I just wanted to see you.
Wait, what? Why did you
Well,
want to
I
see
mean,
me?
well, because I wanted to, because, well, two things. First off, we found the card with your name on it. Second, we got your letter that you left out of us, so it was very rude. You should have knocked and said hi. Um, Third, we talked to, what's her first? Mrs. Colchester? Mrs.
You talked to her?
Colchester.
Wait,
Yeah.
you talked to Kat. How?
Yeah. There's a spell called Sending.
Yes. You use
Yeah,
sending. Okay. All
yeah.
right. What
And
did
she
she say?
said, Lafayette works for the university, that she's off island. Don't look too deeply. You might get hurt. Get out of the house.
Yes.
Blah blah
Don't
blah.
look too deeply. That's a good idea. You all should just get out of that house. Don't go back in. Find somewhere else to live. I'm serious. He
Ah,
leans over the desk again and grabs your arms and shakes you. Get out of that house.
ah. I'm okay. Okay. First off, can we both take a deep breath? We'll look through this together.
I don't have time for
Um.
this. You and your friends need to get out of that house. You're in severe danger. I've got class, and then as soon as I'm done, I'm going to come down to that house. Okay?
Oh.
Can you
Oh.
just
We're making
wait
lunch.
outside? Just get yourselves out. Let's meet. What's near there? We can meet at the somewhere
We
in
have a
Gold District.
yeah. We have a table reserved at the. What's it called? Damn it. Mm. Oh, we have a table reserved at the Leafy Green if you want to meet us there for lunch. The food's really good.
Leafy Green. Great. It's a little early for lunch, but yeah, sure, fine. My class will be over. You know what? That's perfect. I'll teach. We'll go meet at the Leafy Green. Just get out of that house.
Is there
Promise?
I mean, if we're in there
Promise
for
me.
like an extra, do we like what? Fine, we'll meet you for lunch. Gee, are you gonna pay for lunch?
Uh, sure. Just get out of there, okay?
Woo, okay,
All right.
okay,
So I'll send a sending to you. You're familiar with the spell. You'll just hear my voice
yeah,
in your head. Um,
yeah,
I'll send you a message as soon as I'm out of class.
okay.
All right?
Um,
Okay.
by the way, a question before you go.
All right.
What's your
Yeah.
last name?
Oh, my last name?
Hmm.
Well, I just go by Professor Lafayette. You can just call me that. You don't need to know my
But you
last name.
put LB on your thing.
LB. On what thing?
You left us a letter on the front doorstep, and you wrote LB. That's what you signed it with.
Uh, my last name's not. It doesn't begin with a B. I'll tell you what. Just in case, if you ever run into Faye, you'll know why. Just never give anyone your true name. Okay?
Um, okay,
Faye
but the real
101.
okay. A101.
Faye
Never, but
101.
like,
Never give a Faye your true name.
okay, but your last name doesn't start with a B, so why did you sign the letter? You left the letter on the front doorstep, right?
No, I left no letter. I didn't know anybody
Oh,
was back in the house.
oh, oh, shit. Uh, so if someone else knows we're in the house,
Well,
uh,
Kat, you said you sent her a sending?
right, but there was a letter on the front doorstep, and it read something along the lines of, I see the electric lights have returned to the estate, so I figured you'd return as well. My work is being stolen by the crown. They are planning to weaponize my designs and conquer the outer
Whoa,
islands,
whoa,
starting with
whoa,
Lindel.
whoa. That's way out of that. I did not write that.
Ah,
Listen, that sounds like it's something that I don't want to hear. You should probably keep that to yourself.
wow, that's weird. Okay,
Anyway, the house, there's something in it. Something in it that you don't understand, and you're putting yourselves at great danger being in there, you and your friends.
oh, okay,
You need to hurry back there, get them out now. I'll meet you at the Leafy Green. Just hang out for a few hours. I'll message you as soon as I'm ready.
okay. I'll see you at the Leafy Green in a few hours then.
All right. Here. Take this. And he reaches in one of his desk drawers and pulls out an amulet. He hands it to you. Take this. Just wear it. Wear it and keep your friends close. And I'll explain later.
Oh, what does it look like?
It's just a small kind of pendulum style pendant that is on a like a silver chain necklace.
Oh, okay. Oh, here, I've got something for you. And I'll dig in my backpack and I'll pull out one of my wire figures of like of the Spriggan, which I haven't affixed to a lantern yet, but just like
Yeah.
I've got a couple of them made. So I'll just give him a little wire figure of the
Uh,
Spriggan.
thank you. Yeah. He tucks it into his lapel pocket. Now listen, you need to go get your friends out as soon as possible. You promise?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'll be down to help. Just let me get done with my class first, okay? You can go out the same way you
Okay.
came. Yeah,
Oh,
just through the library. You'll have to just follow the stairs down a little bit. It goes back up for a little bit, and then out the golden doors, and you're out. Okay?
question. If I were to like, I don't know, transform into an eagle or something like that, could I fly out the window and fly directly to the Pharaohs, or is there any like barriers between us and there?
Polymorph spell, huh?
Uh-huh.
Interesting. So you're another caster.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your group isn't as bad off as I thought. Maybe that's why it hasn't escalated. Uh, do whatever you like. Just outside the library downstairs, there's a platform. You just take off from.
Oh, okay.
Just don't swoop too low. The guards might get a little freaked out.
Okay. Is there a certain way that if someone's delivering a letter to the Pharaohs, do they like drop it in the box here, or like anything like that?
Pharaohs? I don't know. I've never Pharaohs before. They come
Okay,
out on night patrols sometimes, but I don't really interact with them.
that's fine. All right, we'll see you for lunch.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Please hurry. Go get your friends now. I would not go to the Pharaohs. Skip that. Go get them out.
Mm-mm. Nope, right now. Going to get them out. That's
All
you
right.
bet.
Yeah. Off you go. And he goes back and shuffles through some books. Tries to clean up his robes a little bit as you make your way out.
Is there any? Um, um, is there anything in this room? No, she wants him to be a friend. So she'll think about nicking something, and then she'll be like, nah, and she'll make her way back down the little narrow staircase through the cat room, give the cats more scritches, say hi to the nice lady,
Hmm.
and then
Oh,
down to
hi.
the.
See you.
Hey, thank you very
Were you
much.
able to get him out of his chambers?
Yes, I lit the fire under his bum, and he is moving like nothing else.
Oh, good. He's not gonna miss class again. That's wonderful. Well, thank you. Goodbye.
But, what was your name, ma'am?
Oh, yeah. I'm Adrel.
Adrel?
Yes, Adrel.
Oh, nice to meet you. My name's Lindel. How cool! What a
Oh,
coincidence!
Adrel, Lindel. Ah, they rhyme. Isn't that
Ah,
wonderful?
that's so cool. We should be friends.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. I'll see you next time.
yeah. See you next time. Um, is it just okay? I think we're gonna steal Professor for lunch. That's all right, right? He doesn't have any other commitments that we're taking him away from.
As long as he does his studies today, he can do whatever he likes. He's the professor.
Okay.
I'm just his assistant.
Ah, well, thank you very much. And um, um, if you ever have any problems or need a problem solving, just contact the Short Expectation.
Short expectations. What an interesting name. Uh, all right. I'll do that.
Will do. Have a nice day.
All right. Bye bye. You make your way
Bye.
back out of the that kind of nice, lavish library, out into the cold walkway that leads to the lower spires, and out there in the kind of freshly under construction top of this other tower, you can see out into the early morning city below.
Perfect. So I'll go find that balcony that he mentioned, and
Hmm.
I'll pull out the letter that you gave me out of my backpack. And I'm gonna look really hard at the outside of it. And I'm gonna hold it up to the light, and I'm gonna kind of like scan through it. And I'm
Hmm.
gonna smell it. I'm gonna taste it a little bit and
You
see if
see
I
if you
can get
can
any.
gather what's written on it.
Just like little kid like present at Christmas type of like.
Okay. Yeah, you let's see, roll a investigation perception. This will be perception.
Perception. Okay. Natural
Oh yeah.
24, 24. Holy
Um
crap, that's three natural 20s in a row.
kind of like turning. Wow, that is turning the letter the way it's folded around. You can kind of get about half of the message without opening it. You can make out the name Lexand. You get the phrase Garamond is dead.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me and my companions.
Mm-hmm.
I will be fulfilling my duties. You flip it over, and on the other side, you can make out your lady's dreams are more than an omen. And then at the bottom, kind of near one of the folds, you see her signature. You, Aubernell of Ob.
Oh. Mm-hmm. And how is it sealed?
It has like a little wax seal.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
That's a natural 20, so I'm not going to get any better than that without opening it. No, you trusted me. Gah! Hey. Fine. And I'll just kind of like pout stomp over to the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Looking
it'll be
over
like,
the edge, you can see to the south. You can see the sprawl of the city out from Scale Square, and you can see almost the entirety of the Royal Palace now. Grand structure in the center of this branching out streets of these very nice, tall manor houses and estates that kind of lead to more modest structures. And there's these auburn-colored rooftops that line either side of the densely populated streets until it leads to the outer walls. You can see branches and trees beyond the outer walls of the southern forest.
cool. So she'll think about like, she could like walk on foot to the Pharaohs, but it would take too long because he's gonna meet us there for lunch. And like, how long, if she had to guess, how long would it take on foot to get to the Pharaoh's Tower?
Well, you're looking to the south. Unfortunately, the Pharos is behind you on the other side of the main spire. You could attempt to look out into the distance over the castle wall from the other side if you go back and look out the balcony that leads
Yeah,
across to the smaller tower.
yeah, she will.
You head back to the kind of breezy little tower and look over the edge, and way off in the distance on the northern horizon, you can see the twisted branch tops of the Pharos, dark and ominous over the treetops of the northern forest. From here, it looks like it would be a short flight, but on foot, a few hours.
I don't have that kind of time.
You can go through the
Okay.
forest, which is very dense. That might cut off some time. Otherwise, it looks like you have to go out the gate to the west and through the pastures, the long way around the forest.
So like Thomas would love to like go on this like quest through the forest, but knowing especially that we have like limited time and like yada yada yada, um, Lindel will kind of now like excited at the idea of flying as if just kind of distracting herself from the letter. She'll go back to the takeoff balcony,
Mm-hmm.
and she'll put the letter in her mouth, and she'll cast polymorph, and she'll polymorph herself into an eagle, not a giant eagle, just like a regular eagle, so she doesn't like stand out weird or anything like that. Um, and she'll have just like Kumo like perched on her back because he doesn't transform with her, and she'll make sure to not transform the letter so that it's just like in her beak.
Okay.
Yeah. So like
When you transform and as you're perched on the ledge, behind you, you hear a door shut and very nice. Lindel, wonderful. Well, please be off. Take care of your friends. I'll see you soon.
oh, this is Lafayette.
Hmm. He's made his way out of the tower and
Ah,
sees you perched there on the edge. Wonderful polymorph. Now, please take
oh.
care. Be swift.
She'll give him like a bird thumbs up with her claw, like.
You can speak to me.
uh,
I know avian.
can eagles speak?
Sure.
And she'll be like, "Thanks, see you soon," or something like that.
See you soon. He nods and in acknowledgement that he can understand you.
And so she'll thinking she's like, "Damn it, he's watching me." So she'll like take off in the vague direction of the estate while
Okay.
he's watching.
Remember, not too low.
So she'll like head up, 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 up.
All right. And here you go, kind of circling around 10, 12 stories up. Eventually, you can see the top of the smaller tower spire with its blue roof pointing up towards the sky. And there from above, you can see the entire city, um, the almost perfectly circular uh, Liberty City wall that encases around the dense forest uh, to the northeast and south that sprawls out to the very edges of Plateau Island. To the west, the deforested areas that are now pastures and farmland, the small village, and a lake way off in the distance, and the ominous tower to the.
All right. So get up nice and high. And she'll make for the tower.
Okay. So yeah, you kick off and uh, you start to fly over the northern forest.
What kind of day is it today? What's the weather like?
It's mostly clear, just partly cloudy. Not too cold, but it is pretty cold still. But because there's no snow or rain, it's it's pleasant. Maybe about 30 degrees.
She's never flown in the
Just
sky.
a little below freezing. What's that? Sorry.
She's never flown in the sky before. Like that, she only just recently got to do polymorph, and the only time she's done it is like inside the cavern. So she's definitely doing the whole like classic movie like loop de loops and like brisk stops and starts and like swerves and like just really enjoying the flight and the feeling of flying.
And another thing you notice is this is the freshest air you've ever breathed in.
Mm.
It's just like free of pollution and smog. The stench of Sub 1. It's very freeing as you take in a deep, uh, deep breath through your beak and look down at the changing leaves that on Liberty are forever in fall. The deciduous trees are always in a fall colored state, browns and bright yellows and oranges. The autumn leaves. To the east, there's a little bit more of a greener forest, maybe some evergreen. But toward the Pharos is all in autumn colors as you make your way. Um, Eventually, arcing over the taller parts of the trees, you make your way over the first hill or ridge, and you can see down now through the pastures to the northwest, uh, a little path that leads up to Pharos structure. The tower that the Pharos is made up of is just a giant twisting mass of branches with these windows that are formed out of root branch systems, stairs that are completely just made out of living material. None of it bastardized by human hands. None of it was carved or forced. All of it was grown. You can see there are leaves sprouting in various clusters around the side as well. From far away, it looks like a dark, ominous tower. The closer you get, the more majestic, natural, beautiful it looks. It's maybe 10 stories tall, towering up out of the fields. And you can see that half of it um, is built on the actual side of the plateau. So maybe there are more levels that descend down from the base. Would you like to swoop in and?
She'll do kind of like, because she's quite high, so she'll do kind of like a lazy circle at a decent range around the tower, and just kind of
Okay,
do a loop around the tower,
sure.
and she'll eventually, like in plain full view, like not trying to sneak or anything like that, she'll in plain full view kind of like aim towards the front entrance.
All right, you do maybe like a quarter-mile out sweep around the tower. You manage to make it all the way around, kind of spiraling down, getting a little bit closer as you make your way into a pumpkin patch that has kind of an uphill path that leads up to the main entrance of the Pharos.
Oh, sorry, she's
To
like still in bird form, like aiming right for the front entrance.
Oh, you're gonna land right in front of it. Okay.
Yep, just right head straight in.
Okay. Yeah. As you do, you can see that up the path there are groups, pairs of individuals that are making their way up to the Pharos. It looks like uh, maybe about a dozen, and they are dressed in very dark clothing, dark robes. All of them have dark hair uh, and these interesting, like colored filigree on their clothing, and all of them. As you get closer, you notice. Well, go ahead and roll perception. Actually, you get advantage. I think.
Yeah, because I'm an eagle, and eagles are freaking awesome. Mm, yeah.
Very good.
Let's see. 14.
So you do notice that a lot of them have tattoos as well, up their arms, some on their necks, and as you swoop down, they all kind of look up and kind of form a half semicircle around the path, just keeping their distance as you start to approach.
I'll just aim for the front, like literally like the front doorstep. Is there like a mailbox or like any sort of like receiving kind of area?
No, it's just there's these tree roots, very heavy and massive, that kind of arc up into the walls and the twisting formation of the outside of the tower, and they also form kind of a an arched door that these root stairs just kind of twist and lead up into. There's no door. It just kind of leads up into the darkness.
Oh, so it's just like an open.
Yeah.
So she'll I guess she'll swoop down and she'll just keep flying and she'll swoop through the opening
Okay.
and keep going
As
until
you
she.
swoop down, hang on just a second. I need you
Mhm.
to make this. This is going to one moment.
Uh-oh.
Mm, mm, This is gonna wisdom. Make a wisdom save.
Hit. Oh, reroll natural one.
You smash into.
No, wait. I reroll
Oh,
natural
oh,
one.
oh. Okay, all right.
Sorry.
Okay, 13,
21.
20. Wow, your wisdom is +8?
Yep.
How do you have a +8 wisdom?
Cleric. Woo!
Holy smokes. Okay. You manage to avoid it, but you do glance one of your wings off of some kind of invisible force that
Oh.
kind of sends you off kilter. And rather than smashing into the side of the tower, you can quickly react and land if you would like.
Yeah. Of course. Land.
Okay, yeah, you land kind of off to the side of the stairwell as your wing glances off and take perch on one of the heavy roots. Um, when you do perch onto the tree, you can hear a light, familiar twinkling sound, like thousands of tiny bells that make kind of a sweet chime noise in your ears. And
Aw.
as you
Like
do,
the.
you can see out of the corner of your eye the dozen or so figures are now rushing up the path through the pumpkin patch. One of them clutching his arm as he rushes up toward you.
She'll just like put her wings up and just like just gonna like stand there on her perch with her wings up, like.
Eventually, they get close enough, and the one in front yells, You there! What are you trying to pull? Get down from there. So you perch down on the ground, and all of them rush up and begin to surround you. Um, the one clutching his arm says, You're lucky you avoided that one. How about you show us your true form?
She'll like cock her head and then she'll like nudge like with the letter in her beak. She'll just hold it forward.
Let's see. I have to go deep into my notes for this one. Wait a second.
Sorry. She would like to
Uh,
try to persuade him to not make her use up another fourth level spell slot, and just take the letter.
right. Here we go. Got it. The one clutching his arm looks over at another young male, very handsome, also wearing the dark robes with dark hair. Uh, he says, Trajan. And the other one looks at him and he says, Oh, all right, fine. Hold on, this won't hurt. And he waves his hand at you. And see how this is going to work. This is very strange. We'll have to see how this works. I'm guessing
Don't
you want to
dispel
try
my
and
magic.
resist. I guess you want to try
Oh,
to resist. So
yes. Ugh. Don't like fucking stupid. Ugh. Get you, wizard. Stupid.
okay.
You, if you're listening, your friends aren't nice.
All right. I need you to roll. What do you roll?
If he's casting dispel magic, it's not a me thing. It's just a them thing.
All
And I
right.
mean,
What
you could.
level? What level is your spell?
It's a fourth level spell.
Okay, so then he does have to.
Yeah. The DC is 14, so he rolls with his spellcasting ability modifier.
Yeah. Okay, my first roll. Okay, here we go. That is a 22.
Oh, yep, that worked. Yep.
So reaches out and waves his hand, and you can see a little bit of a flurry of arcane energy as the tattoos on his left arm begin to spin like interlocking clockwork. And all of a sudden, you look at your wings, and they're back to hands.
So she's still got the letter in her beak, in her face.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
still got your the letter in your beak as you kind of shake it, and it turns back into lips and almost falls out of your mouth.
and she'll like shake her head, and a couple stray feathers just kind of
Because
like
it just like up in
yeah,
the
exactly.
up in the air.
And she'll just like a wet cat kind of face, just like utterly like disappointed. She'll take the letter out of her mouth, and she'll just hold it to the head guy. Like, message for
Uh,
the pharaohs.
the the head guy, the one that was originally like made you run into something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the one that made you run into something. He takes his hand off his arm. He looks over. Thank you, Marion. Now then, you there? What's your name?
Who me? My name is Lindel. I have a message for the pharaohs. And that was a big spell that I used to polymorph myself to get here. That was
Oh, you
rather
shouldn't have
rude,
tried
wasn't
to
it?
fly right into the Pharaohs. What were you thinking?
I was looking for a mailbox.
Listen, you're cute, okay? So get I'm not gonna get all hostile on you, but you really should not do that. That's kind of dangerous. Maybe you don't know enough about the Pharaohs. Most people don't.
I don't know anything about the pharaohs.
Good. Well, that's probably better that way. Tell you what. What do you have there?
It's a letter, and she'll just like hold it up like very nonchalantly. It's from a woman named Yu. She's a member of the pharaohs, and she said to deliver this letter to the pharaoh's tower thingamabob, which, by the way, is very beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I mean, I didn't make it. And he looks over at the other one, and the other one just kind of shakes his head. It's like, stop flirting with the little weird girl. Just take the letter.
And she like gets like that gleam in her eye of like, oh, he just listen, listen. And she'd be like, yeah, the
Listen,
tower
honey.
is.
It leans over. Listen, honey, you're cute, but you're not really. Never mind. Hand me that.
You know, and she'll just kind of like fan herself with it a little bit.
Give
Um,
me that. Let me see that. He snatches it out of your hand, looks at it. Oh, it's sealed. Who's it for?
she didn't say. She just said it's for the pharaohs.
Oh, well, it's mine now. Click, and flicks the little seal off and opens it up and reads it.
Can I like try to like look over his shoulder, like try to like see
Yep.
through the, like, try to
Uh,
just
well,
wanna.
he reads one line and immediately just like, nope, not for me. Okay, I should not be reading this. Thank you for delivering this. I will make sure it gets to the person it's supposed to get to. Sorry, I made you run into that force wall
That's okay. You know how you could make it up to me?
by you not trying to fly inside the Pharaohs anymore unannounced.
Well, that too. But I am very emotionally like injured. Like I'm rather nervous. I don't know if I just need to calm down and I just you know what would really help? Is if like maybe you like I don't know, like maybe you told me your name and like
I'm
gave me a little
I'm
tour of the
Trajan.
tower.
I'm Trajan.
Trajan?
This is Marion. I mean, I don't want to introduce everybody here.
That's
We're all
no, that's
neophyte.
fine.
We're all neophyte in training for the Pharaohs. We're coming back from night patrol and we're all exhausted. So I'll go get this letter to the person it needs to go to. Just get out of here.
Well, Trajan, is there anything are you sure you couldn't like and she'll like blink 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 blink. Are you sure there isn't any way you could maybe like give me a quick tour of just like the public areas of the tower?
Absolutely not. There are no public areas. No, please, just all right.
Fine. But tell you what, I will you know what for my troubles, if you guys ever have
Hang
any
on.
troubles, don't let the
Yeah, yeah.
older people boss you around. But if you have any troubles, you just contact the short expectations at the Colchester Estate. Okay?
Colchester Estate. Got it. Okay. Where's that?
Inside Liberty, like it's in well, kind of on the edge of Silver and Gold District.
Uh, oh, you mean like Carver Town?
Yeah.
East or west?
Lindel would know. Thomas doesn't.
West.
West, West Harbortown.
West Harbor Town. Which district?
Well, it's kind of on the border between Silver and Gold. But honestly, if you go into
Oh, by the
into
crossing. It's next to the
yeah, yeah,
crossing.
yeah,
I know where that is. Okay.
yeah,
Yep. Sure.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If we need you, we'll come find you. Like I said, we go out at night on patrol. So if there's really some reason we have to talk to you,
And I mean, if you're on
make our way.
patrol and you just would like to come by and chat, you can come by anytime.
Well, isn't that nice?
Hmm.
Is there tea in it for me?
Well, I don't know. Are you? Lindell would say something like flirty, but Thomas doesn't really know what to say.
Well, if there's tea in
Is
it for
it?
me, maybe I'll make a special trip. Marion,
That would be lovely.
the other one, Marion, just kind of folds his arms and looks at him, just giving him the stink eye. Listen, don't get upset. Our friend just invited me over for tea. I'm not gonna refuse.
Oh, and actually, before I go, I'm so sorry. I know you've been working so hard, but you've been so kind, even after all that nonsense with the wall. But do you know anyone in the first? And this is a totally random question. But do you know anyone named Merryweather?
Merryweather, yeah. Uh huh. Why?
I I don't know. I was just a friend of mine said that they were really nice and just like that I should say hi next time I'm at the Ferris Tower. But I mean, if they're busy, I don't have to.
Um. Okay. Uh. Well, Merryweather's not one of mine. My my outborn is Ariel. Um, Merryweather is so, another group's outborn. We're not the neophyte associated with his group, so I don't really have much
Maybe
interaction with him. We're not really allowed to go up to the upper outborn levels, so I mean, if I see him, I guess I could mention it.
um uh no, that's fine. But maybe could you just describe what he looks like? I've been trying to find him, and maybe just next time I see him, then I could say hi.
Uh, it sorry, she Merryweather's a woman.
That's
Um,
what I thought. But yeah.
yeah, Merryweather. Well, she's an alchemist, so you might see like she has this belt with like jars on it. That's probably the easiest way to tell her. Um, she's got like grayish brown hair. That's about it. I don't know.
That's
No other
okay.
really
Next,
distinguishing features.
that's fine. Yeah, I really appreciate your time. And yeah, and maybe I'll see you for tea sometime.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I know where to find you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay. Well,
uh, hey, Mary. Yeah, I know. No, Mary. Mary looks over. No, I don't. Just turn her back into a bird. Just do it. Just turn her back into a bird. Be on our way. We can go to sleep. Fine. Hey, you ready? Snaps her fingers and points at you, and you turn into a giant owl again.
and like a wait, an eagle or a giant owl? Like
Giant eagle. Sorry, the
the
same as
form that
before.
I was
Giant.
before. Yeah, just a
Yep.
regular eagle. Just a small regular eagle.
Yep. Um, yeah. She points at you, and you turn back into a giant eagle. It's like, all right, can we go in now? And the taller one looks at you and says, "Bye."
Oh, as they transform me into an eagle, Lindel quickly, like in a rush, reaches into her pack, pulls out another symbol of the Spriggan as like her fingers kind of turn into feathers, and it
Uh-huh.
kind of falls and drops at what's his name? Trajan?
Trajan.
Trajan's feet. It'll just like ting 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 as you.
Oh, what's this little thing? Oh, that's cute, isn't it? Ah, hang on to those. Thank you, Lindell.
You're like,
Now, fly
ah.
away, not into the tower. Fly away, if you don't mind.
There's like a yeah, duh, eagle call.
All right, everyone, let's go. And they all head up into the Pharaoh's Tower. Where would you like to go next?
Back to Fairstake, just
Okay.
in eagle form.
So at this point, the sun is getting pretty high. You think maybe it's like mid morning by now, 9:30, 10ish, as you fly back into uh, Liberty City, uh, over the. Well, actually, where do you want to go?
Um, so that's a good question because so she's not gonna fly down the stairwell. That seems a bit much. But Harbor Town has like right. Harbor Town is at water level,
Yes.
right? So she, in theory, should be able to fly like around the island and like in the Harbor Town entrance, which in theory should be much straighter line than like going back through the zigzag of the town, right?
Yes.
That's what she wants to do.
All right. So you pretty easily just fly over the edge of the plateau, out over the open ocean, and you can see down there, maybe like a mile or so down the rocky edge of the plateau, is the opening to Harbortown Platinum District. You can see that out to sea, maybe there's a couple of ships that are making their way uh, into Liberty, and currently crossing into the tunnel. You don't see any ships.
Okay. So yeah, she'll head into the tunnel.
Yep. You swoop down into the tunnel, and as you do, you catch the attention of a couple of guards
Damn it!
that are walking across the. Uh, there's a military bridge that's hidden from the inside of Harbor Town, but you walked across it to get up to when you were under custody of the royal
Mm-hmm.
guard. You walked across it. You see
Uh
there's a
huh.
couple of guards there that kind of scatter as they see you swoop inside. Um, you also notice the two gigantic cannons on either side of the opening, pointed out toward the sea, toward the ships that come to port.
Mm-hmm.
And as you swoop down in, you can see there's a crowd of people on either side of the harbor that just watch you as you swoop in this giant eagle.
No,
Uh,
no, 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 no! Little eagle, little eagle, little eagle.
well, you were polymorphed into a giant eagle.
Damn it!
So that's the form that you're flying into Platinum District. You see the
Stupid Marion.
people are just kind of like gasping and and little kids are pointing out, "Mommy, look at the bird!" And you fly through Gold District, past the pyramid and the twisting structure of the temples on either side of the harbor. And there you can see the signal tower next to the Colchester estate near the crossing. Would you like to
Okay.
swoop down?
So she'll like sigh. She'll be like, "Stupid Marion! I showed up as a small eagle and she made me a giant eagle. What a jerk!" She's just like talking to herself in her head, but like, different for those stupid neophytes don't know what they're doing. Magic, I can do magic. I can do magic better than them. Why can't they do magic? And like, just having this conversation with herself in her head. And she, so I guess what she'll do is she'll try to like stealth and like sneak around the tower to try to get into her window. Like,
Okay. Yeah, you kind of take a left around the signal tower, and the signaler, it's uh, Jimothy. he's signaling and he's like, "Oh, another one of those giant beds!" And you swoop around, and as you hit the docks, you polymorph back.
Nope, I'm heading for my bedroom window.
You're heading for your bedroom window. You swoop
Yeah.
around, and there you can see your window up near the top of the archway, and you head towards it. You're maybe
And
about
I'll like
50 feet, 40 feet,
I'll try to
30
like
feet.
slow down and just like hover just
Yeah,
outside my
you
window and
kind of backpedal with your wings a little bit as you get closer, and your feet are almost on the ledge of the window.
mhm. And then I'll try to like land. Can I fit in the window? Like, is it realistic for me to try to like?
No, the window's too small for
Oh
your
shoot.
giant eagle.
Yeah, I guess I'll fly down to the front step.
The front step. Okay, yeah, you
Yeah.
backtrack a little bit down to the front stoop of the Colchester mansion. Um,
Hmm.
Still in eagle form, and land on the steps out front.
And now that I'm here, Lindel's like, oh shit, this isn't my spell. How do I drop it? And she's just gonna like very like eagle dumbfounded like just sit on the front doorstep and she's just gonna start making like cawing eagle noises at the house like ah ah ah.
People from the signal tower are starting to get a little bit uh, curious, leaning over the ledge and looking down at this giant eagle that's now cawing on the steps of the Colchester estate, and that's where we're going to end.
There we go. Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, you'd have to polymorph back, I guess, to be able to change your form, or wait it out
Well,
for about.
exactly. I would have to wait it out, or someone else would have to dispel it. Either
Yeah,
or.
it's been about 20 minutes, maybe, of flight time. So I would say about 40 more minutes of eagle
Oh my
form.
god. Ah.
So yeah, we'll go ahead
Front
and stop
step.
there, and pick up
Perfect.
tomorrow. So good, you got to do quite a bit. That was
There. That's exactly what I wanted.
that was a nice session. So
Thank you, David. That was
yeah, of
perfect.
course. Yeah, thank you, Thomas.